welcome to Above the Mark, where we take you from the soil to the office and everywhere in between.
We're your hosts, Jack and Troy, bringing you real conversations on farm leadership, rural life, and the big issues shaping modern agriculture.
Whether you're knee-deep in the field or just ag curious, there's something here for you.
So let's dig in and aim a little higher.
Well, we're back with another episode of Above the Mark podcast. This is your first one being here. And
Yes.
I don't know if you've listened to any, but we're going to say you've listened to all of our...
I've listened to them.
Yeah,
I have. I spend a lot of time on cars, so I got to do something. You can only listen to so many songs over and over again, so absolutely.
That's true.
Fair. Some days, though, specifically right now, we were talking about before starting this, that we're recording this in May, right?
Yep.
It's currently wet, not a whole lot going on. I've found myself just driving in silence a lot lately, too, to be honest with you. Just
To help ease the nerves.
I think so. It's like a grief share
Calm
type
you
thing
down.
for myself. I was just telling Jackie yesterday, I said, I feel like that anxious body of like, things need to happen, but nothing's happening.
Mhm.
But we're in this odd spot.
Hurry up and wait.
That's what she said. Hurry up and
We're in
wait.
the hurry up and wait. Let's hurry up and get ready, and then we got to wait.
Yes. So
Well, it's a good thing you're not driving from the south like I am, because then you would have really been anxious this morning seeing all of the water standing in the fields.
Yeah.
yeah, and there's some stuff planted down there currently,
Yes,
right?
there is.
Yeah. I mean, for context, today is what? May, what's today?
6th?
6? Could be.
I
Yep.
think so.
May 6th.
Or sometime after the first.
Yes. So we got a little bit of a rain shower last night. We're hopeful that things can clear up here, but at
They
this
always
point-
do. They always do. And we're going to get in the field. It's just a matter of when it turns. And honestly, it's been cold enough that I don't know I want a lot of seed in the ground like
Yeah.
that now.
But at the same time, there's some March planted beans that look really nice.
They do.
So I don't know.
It's ag. It depends.
Yeah.
So.
And I hate to bring up a agriculture curse word, but if we remember 2019, we had some really good crops in
This
2019.
is going to be a positive
Okay, we'll get there. But we had some good stuff
We
that
did.
came
We
out
had,
of that.
2019 had some good stuff. It depends when it got planted, but
Yeah.
there was some good stuff that came through with it.
Yeah, even some corn
Absolutely.
that we were like, this isn't going to be good, but it came out okay. So I've found myself reminding the guys of that a little bit, just like, hey, we can still make something out of this.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, so positives. The grain market, that's probably positive, right?
It has been a wild couple of weeks. I mean, yes, our whole team of ladies, by the end of the day, we're like, holy cow, how many phone calls did we have today?
Yeah.
But they're great conversations, right? I mean, this is an excellent opportunity for guys to take advantage of what's happening in the market, get some stuff locked in, what's left in your bins, some stuff for next year, even the following year.
Yeah, and it's made for some good conversations. So I yesterday was talking to a guy that hasn't bought UAN at this point yet, trying to decide, what do I do, or we're getting into it. It's getting later. Do I decide to switch to all beans? Looking at the price of UAN, and we spent some time going through and breaking that down, on a per bushel basis, and kind of looking at it that way. And I think he felt better by the end of it. But
Good.
it's just all in that perspective. I think there's still money to be made. If we do our due diligence and work with our advisors and continue to go that route.
And
Absolutely.
make sure we do it right.
That's
We
right.
only get one chance. We got to do it right.
That's right. Yeah. So there's things to cut. There's things not to cut.
Yeah.
And I think that's where your grain advisor, your CPAs come in, where they can help you with, let's look at soil tests, let's look at whatever it may be, and how do we do that, right? So yeah,
And your equipment professional.
And
So
that's
make
what we're
sure
getting.
it's
That's
there.
what we're getting to. Yeah, we were just talking about the benefits of a good quality lawnmower before we got on here.
Yes.
Um,
Looking at your nice stripes out in the yard.
Yeah,
out in
we
the
had,
pond.
the young lady that's been mowing out here the other day. I'm like, man, if we don't start planting soon, I'm gonna volunteer to mow the yard here at Laddie because that looks like a nice lawnmower. I'm gonna take that first. But yeah, so go ahead, give us a little brief overview. We have a new guest today. Who you are, a little bit of backstory, what you do at Trueland,
All right.
and we'll kick it off from there.
So, name is Andrew Drurup, Director of Precision Ag and Marketing for Trueland Equipment. I'll just say I'm past 20 years with the company now. I'm not going to say how many. I'm just going. I decided a couple years ago that I'm going to say
plus.
I'm at 20 plus, and I'm just always going to be 20 plus and never go beyond that. So, But yeah, 20 plus years with the company, and I've worked in a lot of the different aspects as far as service, parts, sales, precision ag, and now director of precision ag and marketing. So it's been a transition. It's been a change over those 20 years of what we've seen with technology and the technology we have coming now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and from our seat, this was a perfect match to have you on here, just because Mercer and Truland are partnered together in so many ways with our equipment and how we're working together on some of that stuff. And there is a tremendous value in the equipment that's out there.
yes.
And as you know, a conversation I had the other day with the guys, we're getting into a later spring. I shouldn't say that. As it's getting later, there's some anxieties around that, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get this done? And I kind of reminded them that we have that new planter for a reason. We have that 120-foot sprayer for a reason. We have all these things are in this place.
The efficiencies are so much better than what they have
That's right.
been in the past. That yes, while we do need to get the crop in the ground, we can get it in the ground so much faster, efficiently, and in a quality manner.
Yep.
That it's a lot easier to get across the acres now.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. I mean, you look at 15 years ago, planters were maxing out at 5 mile an hour, and the average planter width was 12 rows. Now we're looking our average planter is 16 to 24 rows, and we're traveling at 6, 7, 8. Some conventional guys running 9 mile an hour planting corn. We can cover acres quickly. So yeah, while we do get into a time crunch to get things done, we can handle it now.
Yeah, our kind of our internal slogan this year at Mercer is that we're made for this moment.
Yeah.
And kind of in that same regard, that equipment's made for these kinds of moments, right?
Absolutely.
We're sitting here at the Laddie facility. I think this facility is made for those kinds of moments where we need to crank out things and be efficient, but also do a quality job.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
When you talk about planter size, somebody that in one area might say 24 rows, holy cow, we couldn't even get into a field. So talk about a little bit about Truland and just the geography you guys cover.
Sure. Yeah. So Truland Equipment, we became Truland Equipment in 2023. TTG Equipment and Kenfeld Group came together, and we became Truland. So now we are 18 stores across Northwest Ohio and Central Indiana. So we span from basically Lafayette, Indiana, all the way to Napoleon, Ohio.
Yep.
Mass differences all the way across, but all the same goal. I mean, it's a lot of corn, soybeans, wheat, right? The three staples of this area of the Midwest. We have some vegetable growers. We have a lot of livestock, as you guys are aware, down in the Mercer County area. We've got some hay and forage. So we've got a really big mix. We've got smaller farmers in some areas. We got larger farmers in some areas. It's an interesting mix of growers, capabilities, expectations, everything. But at the end of the day, it's all the same. We just got to make it work for everybody.
Yep. As you guys have gotten bigger, what are some of the benefits that you've seen? I mean, for the growers working with you guys on that end.
It's been, and there's always hesitation. There's always anxiety towards bigger, right?
Yeah.
Because the common theme is, they lose. It's not my local store. It's not my local store. It still is, and we've always tried to keep that in mind. We always want it to be the local store, but the advantages, the underlying advantages, is inventory for one. We're not stuck with the same 5 pieces of equipment we got on the lot. We've got so much more inventory we can look at and help customers find the right fit. We talked about technology a little bit, and we're going to talk about technology today, but looking back to 20 years ago and 13 people in one building, there's no way we could handle the technology we have today as a single store. We could not support the technology and the time frame that the customers expect with that old style or the single store, small dealership feel. The resources we have, the number of people we have, the information sharing we have across the team, it really is the main goal of striving toward fast, efficient problem resolution, helping customers move forward. just the precision ag team alone, we've got 20 precision ag people on the team, on my team. So it doesn't sound like a lot, right? 18 stores, 20 people. It's not a lot, but we don't always hit the field at the same time. So we can share those resources across the company. We can move people back and forth for what we need to handle that high load time where we need to hit the field, where we've got, Frankfurt, Florida, they're starting. Okay, my team members in Frankfurt, Florida, they're hitting the field. They're busy out in the field, but we've got calls coming into our call center. Well, that's fine, because Napoleon, Archbold, we're not in the field. We can grab those calls. We can cover them. And so we can have people in the store going out in the field handling issues. We can have people remotely handling the calls coming into those stores. So there's just so much shared resources that we can do across every department, sales, parts, service, that we can help the customer get running very efficiently.
Yeah.
So change is always difficult for our
Always.
farmers, right? For
It is.
everyone.
It is. Yep.
But thinking about the growth that you guys have had, the two companies coming together, sharing the resources, like you just said, was that a hard transition internally for you guys?
I wouldn't say it's a hard transition. It's just a transition, right? Everybody's got to know each other. They got to learn each other. They got to learn how to communicate back and forth. They've got to find the new people that may be a little bit better at something than what somebody else is. And how do we balance that? How do we make it so that we know the strong suits of everybody? We know what we have, where we have it, and how do we efficiently move that around?
So a couple years into this, I mean, I'm sure your customers have seen this change and this growth, and it's been very beneficial for them.
It's getting better and better every day.
And that's what I was thinking earlier, bigger is not better, better is better. And that's what we strive for every day. And I think that's why our business and your business align closely. We have a group of people around our farmers, whether it's a crop production advisor, a grain advisor, an energy advisor, whatever it is. But we try to relay that message with our customers, is that we think your business is so important that we want to have a team of people around you. That it is way too important for us to give you one person and expect that one person to be able to fulfill all your needs. Yep. We need to have that team around you. And I think when you look at it that way, they understand that, okay, cool, I have a whole team of people that I can rely on.
Sure.
Because we all have life and things that happen, and and if you're out sick or have a kid sick or whatever it is, we want to be able to have someone that knows their business just as well as you do, that can cover that. So yeah, it's cool.
Absolutely.
But I guess, like you said earlier, we're going to talk about technology. And you said you've been in the business for 20 plus years.
Yes.
Not 21 plus years,
No,
20
just
plus
20.
years.
We're just saying 20
Okay.
plus. Yep.
And so there's probably been a lot of change in 20 years.
It has been. It's been remarkable. And the crazy part of this, as we talk about some of the technology that we have, is the technology has ramped up over the years, but it's ramping up faster in the last 5, and honestly in the next 5, than it ever has before. Some of the things that we're going to be doing in the next 5 years, we wouldn't have even dreamed of 20 years ago. Yeah. For reference, one of the first things I did when I started with the company I was in service was tearing apart, cleaning, and adjusting and reassembling finger pickup corn row meters for a corn planter. Okay, we did thousands of meters a year, and trying to get them dialed in and ready to go for the farmer to plant corn and get a nice stand. I'm not sure there's many finger pickup planters out there anymore.
There was a box of finger pickup meters at the auction in Archbold recently.
Was there really?
And they did not sell. They did not sell.
That doesn't make me feel better. That adds another digit to that 20. But I mean, we went from that, right? We had no row shutoffs. We have no fertilizer control. We had no monitor that says we have good population, good singulation, good spacing. To now the most recent planter, we're monitoring population spacing, coefficient variant. We're looking at singulation. We're looking at all this stuff real time as we go across the field at 8 mile an hour, and with the expectation of 90, 95 plus singulation and perfect population. To do that at that speed across 30, 40, 60 foot wide planters, I mean, the ability to do that compared to where we were even 10 years ago, it's amazing. And like I said, it just keeps getting better. We're going to talk about See and Spray today.
Yeah.
That's the big one for for Mercer
Yep.
in the application world. It's big for us. We've got more and more growers. But leading up to that, I mean, in the early 2000s, I believe it was around 2002, is when Deere really got into the commercial sprayer business with the 20 series. The 4920, that was the first large frame sprayer. And, we were excited because we had a original Green Star display, which is non-touch screen, black and white display sitting there on the quarter post that could tell us what the rate was and if it was the accurate rate. We couldn't even shut booms off automatically at that point. We could just, hey, look, we have auto track and we know we're hitting 15, 18, 20 gallon an acre. We know we're accurate. We don't need a foam marker. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. We can run without foam markers. We've gone from that to into boom shutoffs, touchscreen displays, more sections so we get smaller overlap. Then we moved into exact apply, which is really the foundation of See and Spray, where we're, instead of having 9-foot sections or 11-foot sections and having overlap and having skips, to individual nozzle control, and we're having sections down to 15 inches. So virtually no overlap.
Yep.
To move from, and then moving from that into See and Spray, where we're looking at weeds down to the size of a thumbnail and just spraying a portion of ground around that. That's where we're at today. I mean, where are we going? We got an autonomous tractor. A sprayer's coming.
Yep.
We've got automated field systems. We're going to have, we have cameras on a sprayer. Okay, that's looking at crop. Where can we go from there? That sprayer's across the field multiple times a year.
In your opinion, though, what drives this? I mean, is this solely farmers driving it? Is it farmers scaling up? Farmers saying we want this, or is it? I don't know what drive. Like, how does that?
What drives the change of progress?
Yeah, like the rapid progress.
I think it really just revolves around the idea, and it's been like this ever since the onset of GPS technology. How can we do more with less, more efficiently?
Yeah.
How can we all know farmland is disappearing every year, right? We have to make more with less acres every year. That's an unfortunate reality of our world. If we can use the technology to plant straighter rows and get an additional row of corn in there, all the way back to auto track in 2002. If we can make the rows straighter, if we can save seed, if we don't have overlapping corn rows, that'll boost our yield a little bit. All the way, we spray less chemical. Chemical doesn't have to metabolize in the plant. We get a better yield. That's a huge driver. And less isn't just inputs. Less is people. We have fewer and fewer farm hands, hired hands that are running equipment anymore. We have growers that are growing more on more acres now. Dad and grandpa and son running all the equipment as we go forward and get bigger isn't sustainable. Hiring a bunch of trained operators is going to be more and more near impossible as we go forward, because there's just not as many rural people that have that knowledge of running equipment. So we look at this technology to make it more efficient in the field. We can run more acres because the machine is doing the driving, the controlling, the monitoring, and we just have to be the rider. But as we go forward, now can we become a logistics guy to where I'm just making sure the equipment goes where it needs to, make sure it stays full, and my stress load is less because the machines are in the field doing the work. I'm just watching them.
Right. When you guys are looking at building this technology, whether it's See and Spray or whatever it is, how many years ahead? I mean, from the time that project starts to the time it hits the field.
I would love to know the answer to that.
One of my favorite stories, and maybe you've heard this, I wasn't there, but we had a group of guys here that went to a John Deere plant somewhere to look at something.
I was on that bus trip.
Were you?
Yes.
Okay.
I was one of the guys that helped organize that trip.
So and from the side of the story I've heard is that there was a question around, when is Deere coming out with an airflow machine?
That was the funniest question of the day.
Okay.
And I think it was completely staged, honestly. So for full explanation, I can't remember exactly what year it is now because I'm 20 plus years and I can't remember stuff anymore. A few back, I want to say it was the mid to late 2010s. that's when Deere started allowing all dealers that hit qualifications to sell application equipment to commercial growers. Before that, it was kind of locked to certified dealers, and there was only 1 or 2 per state. So we got that ability, and we had worked with Mercer a lot on the service side. And Dan Recker was, I think, head of agronomy at the time. Dan and I were acquaintances. We knew each other, and I kind of started working with Mercer a little bit on and getting, how can we help you guys more with sprayers besides the just service area? And we came up with the idea, myself, Randy Winiger, our director of sales, and Brent Hoyleman, the other application salesperson at the time, which is Mercer's salesperson now, or account manager. We came up with the idea, like, well, if we want to bolster some relationships, let's take a trip to the factory. So we took a bus of applicators, which that's a long trip to Iowa in a tour bus. So we toured the Deere factory, and we went to their media center at the end of the tour. And it was the funniest thing, because we told them, you're going to have product engineers and product managers there. Come with your questions, have your questions. And we had talked to Deere ahead of time about, what they might be asking. And one of the big things at the time was an air boom. Especially, like, we're sitting in Laddie, Paulding County. It's flat, it's open. Wind is a problem here, right? It's always been. And getting application inside the window area, or the wind areas, was a struggle, and especially dry. And we warned them. It's like, they're going to ask about an air boom, because Deere just came out with the Ford 365 spreader truck at that time. And we're sitting in the media center, and I'll never forget, we're all facing away from, they had a wall of windows like this, and we're all facing the presenter up there. We're all looking up at him, and he's like, well, what other things would you like to see? And I think it was somebody from the Mercer facility in Payne at that time. He goes, well, I want to see an air boom machine. And I'll never forget, the marketing or the product manager sitting up there goes, really? Air boom machine. And at that time, out of the Department X, which is Deere's department, rolls this prototype air boom machine at like half the speed of smell past these windows. And every operator in the room like plastered themselves against the window.
Oh, that's great.
But I'd love to know how long they've been. I mean, there's so much. I mean, there's a lot of secrecy in the privacy too when Deere looks at new technology. They've been working on See and Spray for years.
Yeah.
I don't know the timeline behind it or how long it's been. Every once in a while, we get to be involved in some of that development. We have machines come out, or trial machines come out that may have these cameras mounted to it where they're taking images. But I'm going to tell you, it's probably a better part of 10 years they've been working on this.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good segue into kind of what we wanted to talk about. So our Agro Expo is coming up in September.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're a little ways out, but we're excited about it. We've been heavily planning. That's September 11th and 12th, I think. I don't think I know.
I'm glad to hear
I'll
that.
take your
Mr.
word on that.
Kimmerer.
And so something that we came up with that we're excited about is that we're going to do a See and Spray demonstration there.
Yes. Yep.
So a little bit that we wanted to, one of the reasons behind this podcast was to kind of just discuss from your perspective what that technology is, kind of the benefits from that and where you see that going. So for those people out there listening, maybe this is the first time they've heard of See and Spray.
Yep.
I doubt that, but maybe it is. Give us a little rundown of what that is.
It is exactly what you said it is.
Yep.
It's See and Spray. It's driving across the field and having cameras on a machine. For the most simplistic view of what it is, it's cameras mounted on a sprayer boom that's going across the field looking for weeds and spraying a region of ground around that weed. That's the simple explanation. It's a technology that we've had out for about 2 to 3 years now. We've got quite a few machines in the field. And there's multiple variations of how it can be configured, what the different configurations can do, and the growing seasons it can be used. The beauty of the system is we talked about a lot about the technology and what is coming, but it is one of those new systems that's AI generated. It's looking at AI is looking at images and getting better and faster every year. So, yes, we're going to have a See and Spray machine here at the Agri Expo. I think it's a premium machine. We'll talk about the differences of that, of what's an ultimate versus premium versus select, the 3 different variations that you can have. And it's going to be neat because we're going to have some deer reps here with us to help, and we're going to unfold the sprayer, have some water with blue dye in it, and we're going to spray weeds in the driveway.
Yep.
We can program the machine to tell it demo mode, and it can go through the field or through the driveway and hit exactly on those weeds then. So it's see and spray. It sees the weeds, it sprays the weeds. Diving into the weeds on that, what it looks like. Like I said, we got 3 different variations: Ultimate, Premium, and Select. So starting with Select, that's the first one we came out with. It's a single tank machine. It is made for green on brown. So what is that? Fallow ground, right? So that is going through the field, nothing's in the field, just dirt, and I'm gonna hit weeds as I go. We have Premium, which is kind of the step up. It is the fallow ground or the infield, but still single product, right? Single tank, single pump, single product spray. So that's the first 2. And then the last one we have is the Ultimate. So the Ultimate is the dual tank machine that's factory created or factory built. So we have 2 completely separate product systems, right? So we've got a see and spray spot apply tank, and we've got a residual tank. So for a lot of customers in our trade area and yours, we do a lot of residual spraying. That's becoming more and more the popular machine because we can put down that residual pass while doing a spot spray. Residual probably is going to be there for a while. It's important for our area, for our crops we grow. But if we can save money by just spraying weeds with a contact herbicide or systemics, then we can start ratcheting back that application cost. We can save the customer a little bit of money by doing that.
So on the topic of saving the customer money, what other benefits? I mean, I think that's the first initial thought is saving money.
That's the main.
But there's obviously cost to running equipment like this. So what, outside of just dollars and cents, I mean, what other benefits do you see for a grower?
There's multiple. So yeah, we're saving money on chemical, right? So we're reducing chemical, we're saving chemical. That leads to fewer stops, fewer fills, especially if we're just doing spot application passes. We are seeing, from what we've seen, sprayers running through the field, 50 to 60% savings across the field on managed fields.
Wow.
So if you think about that, you take the number of times you fill up across, and let's say an average fill time on a sprayer takes 8 to 10 minutes. You take 10 minutes and then times the number of times you fill up across the season and divided that by 60%, now we're looking at a big time savings.
Yeah.
So less hours on the machine, less hours in the machine, less time filling or handling chemicals, a lot of reduction there. The other one that we're still, I mean, realistically, we're still gathering data on this. We're still trying to get a good idea of where it is because you can't judge off 1 year, right? When you look at anything agronomic, you got to have 4, 5, 6 years to really get a feel. But what we've seen over the past 2 or 3 years, and we're doing some studies to validate this year, is we're seeing that yield bump. Okay, so we're the one I was looking at, I was going through some stuff again this morning just to make sure I was ready for all your inquisitive questions. And what we've seen so far, just looking at soybeans, is we're seeing a 1 to 5 bushel an acre increase in yield on See and Spray compared to non-See and Spray fields, right? So why? Less chemical for the crop to metabolize. You know, if there's no weeds around a crop and we don't spray it, it doesn't have to metabolize that chemical. It doesn't see a stress from that. It can grow healthier. It grows healthier, makes more beans, makes more corn. So we're constantly gathering more and more data and trials every year to try to see what that true advantage is. So less chemical, less time filling, less time in the machine, better yield.
Well, that sounds like a win-win.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you see going forward, let's say 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, do you see this being more of a product that's used on a commercial side, like with someone like us, or do you think growers will embrace it faster than what?
I think it's definitely grown on the private owned sector first, because I mean they're running the machines, right? They can look at how they justify the cost of the machine with that technology across their acres really easy, really quick, and then they see 6% savings. that helps.
Yep.
But realistically, I think it's going to be coming very quickly on our commercial application side.
Yeah.
It's going to grow every year because it's less time in the machines for your operators. It's easier on them, less filling, makes you guys more efficient across the acres you got to cover. And let's be honest, we get those late June, early July, sometimes late July rains where we get those escapes, right? And we had a lot of that last year. We had a lot of machines go out last year. I think we had 14 Seed and Spray premiums hit the field last year. And that's what we ran into is we had late rains last year, and we saw a lot of palmer and water hemp escapes, right? Because we had a really dry early on, and then we got some rain in some areas. And that rain was after the residual kind of lost its effect.
Yeah.
The corn wasn't quite canopied, so that the weeds got their start, and then they broke through the canopy. Well, we could take these machines out. We had a software update come through last year that we could take these machines out into higher crops because it's learning, right? So
Yep.
it has to start. That's one thing we haven't covered it's a learning system. So it started at 10 mile an hour,
Yep.
max speed, only 30-inch rows, and only with the row. And we keep getting better to now we can spray the Seed and Spray 2 that's coming out this year can do wheat where it couldn't before. It can do full coverage or non-road crops, sowed crops. It can go crossways. It can do so many more capabilities. So had a software update late last year that allowed us to do a higher boom height. We could do escapes, and growers saw a huge advantage going out and canopied or near canopied corn and beans and hitting weeds that had escaped their residual and gotten through. Well, now, okay, that's a big benefit because that's another benefit, I should say. Not only are we getting a clean field, we're not spraying the whole field, but that palmer can't get to maturity and drop thousands of seeds on the ground and spread itself. Now we can kind of eliminate those threats as they come at us.
Yeah, I think it's and when it comes to the AI side of things, right? I mean, it's as it gets better, faster and faster and faster and faster. So
Yep.
it's hard for me to even comprehend what kind of changes we could have because it seems like it's such time.
Well, yeah, we started at 10 mile an hour and with the rows, now we're 16 mile an hour as of next year. Crossways up to 40 or up to 90 degrees crossways. Varying row widths.
Yep.
And it's just going to keep ratcheting up.
Yep.
I know some of your operators like to push the envelope on speed toward the 20 area. We can, as we start getting closer to that 20 mile an hour, and we're looking at cameras. We're looking at a camera that's more advanced than your cell phone. I mean, it's going to see a little bit more than your cell phone camera can. But moving through the field at 20 mile an hour, seeing an image, sending it to a video processor, determining the threat by your parameters, what weed size are we looking for, how accurate or how sensitive do we want to be to that weed threat, processing all that at 20 mile an hour, 16 mile an hour right now, and being able to band an area of spray that's 3 foot to 5 foot and 4 or 5 foot wide around that weed. I mean, just think about you driving across the field or a yard at 12 mile, 15 mile an hour. Can you spot a dandelion?
Well, I had a lot of them in my yard, so.
That makes it easy. But I mean, you think about it. Can you spot a young dandelion that's just starting to grow without a yellow head on it at 15 mile an hour?
Not very well.
There's not very well.
Yeah.
But we're going through a field, and I kid you not, we did test last year with blue pond dye on about every machine we sent out, and we were hitting wild carrot that was an inch or two tall. I mean, you're talking a very small weed, doesn't have a big broad leaf to it, and it's only that far out of the ground, and we're hitting it.
Are those cameras are they looking at plant health at all? I mean,
They just released that for the new ones, for the new Sea Spray 2 that's coming out this year in our sprayer orders, that we are looking at biomass health. And we're going to be looking at, once again, learning, getting better. Now we're going to be looking at how we can do variable rate nutrient application to go along with that.
that's
impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the acres that we cover, there's fields that we have 15 different soil types in, and
Mhm.
how do you plant an application on a field that's it's got some bottom ground that's really good, and then you get on the sand hills and it's not so much, and being able to pinpoint those.
And looking and being able to do that on the go,
Yes.
not necessarily sitting still, running the field and looking at the map and
Yep.
determining the next pass, but as you're going through the field, setting your parameters for highs and lows and adjusting that rate across those acres as at 15 mile an hour.
Jackie, it sounds like they're gonna have more bushels to sell you here soon.
Hey, this is fantastic. I mean, I will say I greatly appreciate this conversation. This obviously is not my wheelhouse, and I've learned a lot. So, I mean, just a super quick takeaway, right, is embrace the technology. It's been fantastic. I mean, this kind of precision ag right here, I mean, it's saving the farmer time, money, and giving them additional bushels. I mean, that's fantastic.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So guys, come out to the Agro Expo. They're going to see this firsthand. They're going to
Yep.
be able to identify what the benefits are. And I guess is there any other?
Now, we won't be going across the parking lot
No.
15 mile an hour. We're going to go a little slower for that.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to the Agro Expo
Yes.
and getting to see this demonstration. And we appreciate your guys' partnership and everything we do together. And
It's
yeah.
been great.
just working together to have the best experience for our growers. We share a lot of the same growers, so
Yep.
it's cool to be able to work together, and we got to be efficient and we got to get things done to best serve them. So
Absolutely.
yeah, well, hopefully you come
Alrighty.
on again. Maybe next time we'll get Brent on here.
We will get Brent on here next time. It'll be mandatory.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
pretty reluctant.
Brent will be
Yeah.
next time. I'm going to keep saying that as you're recording. Hear it.
Okay, well, thank you very
Yes.
much. Jackie, it's been a pleasure, and thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Above the Mark. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Above the Mark.
Be sure to follow us on Apple and Spotify along with YouTube, and we'll see you next time.